Hello, this is Readings with the Cosmic Mistress. Is this the view? I think so. I'm going to pull that back a little bit. Have that there. And we are continuing our readings with Quadrivium, which is right here. And we have a card marking our Quadrivium place, which is at magic squares, when it all adds up, which feels a little familiar. Okay, nope, definitely didn't read that. Did we read pyramids? No, because we did not. Nope. 6 around 1. Oh no. Oh, we're getting into it. Okay. Oh yes. The sacred geometry. 0. Nothing left to say. Myth, game, and a rhyme. We can probably review this. Magic squares, I recall. Numbers. We're gonna begin on page 52. Myth, game, and rhyme. Numbers we grow up with. Numbers we grow up with. And the card that I got was relax. Relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. And so if you're being at cause, you are standing with purpose. Do we agree? If you're standing in cause and you're relaxing and you're holding the darkness. Okay, what number are you? I have little dates on here. Oh, we're just one. Okay, one away. Did good. Dear Sacred Rebel, this moment in your life requires great courage. Great courage. Are you with me? Who wants that great courage? Fortunately, you possess that in bucket loads. You are being asked to allow yourself to be lifted out of one level of the known reality and into the next level of a higher voltage reality. Higher voltage reality requires a more absolute trust that the heart, not trust, and a heart that is surrendered into the greater heart of the universe. So surrendering, and I was just talking to my friend. This is my little alarm clock that my niece gave me, and I think it's really cute. So we're just gonna make it featured because it's so cute. Look at the little rainbow. So, and then I forgot. Oh yes, surrendering. So when people hit rock bottom, their rock bottom, it's like they had to hit rock bottom to surrender to it. Because if you're just kind of going through life and things are like, they're okay. Things are fine. Everything's fine. Everything. Ooh, you like that light. I think we like that light. Yeah, that's a good light. Okay. So you're going through life thinking like everything's fine. And if you don't, you're arguing for your limitations if you accept anything less. And when that's a familiar place to be, when you fail, you're kind of just like, I knew it. I always fail. Things that never work out for me. That kind of vibe. Is that true? No, it ain't true, boo. Do you believe it? Yes, I do believe it. Okay, let's see. Do you want to go into a little hypnosis session, right? So this is coming up for me right now, and I'm so aware of it in myself because my actual reality is not aligning to what I believe I'm worthy of. And little by little, the tiniest baby steps after tiniest baby step, it is integrating into me. Feeling the sense that intellectually I've known the tools. I know the psyche. I know the consciousness. I know how to change a belief. Application and implementation are challenging for me. And because I can see a pattern that I don't follow through with what I say I'm going to do. And now what I can hear is that I used to say, bring up the scene, the place, the event, and time. That has all to do with why I don't finish what I'm saying I'm going to finish. I remember saying, I hate when people don't do what they say they're going to do. They just don't say anything. And now I can see places where I said I was going to do things and I didn't do them because no one outside of me was holding me accountable. And why wasn't anyone holding me accountable? Oh, my tea kettle. Because I had a learning disability. Which means nobody expected much of me. Is that true? It's not true. Let's see. No one expected much of me, kind of. I mean, of course, they wanted to be proud, but like I competed a little in cheer, I competed a little in gymnastics, in horseback riding. And it's like the expectations were so low that I couldn't fail. The expectations were so low. Or if they stayed low, or if I kept arguing for my limitations, then people would continue to expect less of me. And so I would have a coping mechanism. My coping mechanism for that, for feeling comfortable and in that familiar place is the self-sabotage, is the belief, is the niggle, is that little something goes off in me to start to have this little series of unfortunate events to sabotage, which usually ends up with around money. Feeling my heartstrings being pulled because I owe somebody money. I don't want to have to owe anybody money anymore. And so what's blocking me from that? What's blocking me from having to owe anybody money? What is blocking me from having this belief around money that is scarcity and lack, and that you only have enough to get by and you're just barely scraping by because no one expects much of you, so you don't expect much of yourself. And I will never forget the first time one of the beginning parts of when I had a coach, she said, what are your expectations of yourself? I said, excuse me, what? She says, what expectations have you set for yourself? I said, well, darling, I don't have any expectations. I didn't expect much of me. Because no one expected much of me. And I heard a quote this morning from the teacher from Boy Meets World. I loved Boy Meets World, FYI. I would rewatch that. That was some good comedy. Topanga. I love Topanga. What a woman. I thought she was just the coolest chick in the whole damn club. She was so cool. Anyway, that's a good reminder. And then, of course, Topanga in California. Amazing, beautiful. He said, if you live life by other people's perception of you, you will never live the life of your dreams. Or something like that. If you live by the perception of other people, you will... Now I totally lost my thought. Anyway, so you see what I'm saying? If you live your life through someone else's perception of you, through people not having expectations of you, people doubting you. It's not that they were actually, nobody was like, she'll never do it. She won't do it. I would also get like crazy anxiety. Stop, what is it? Just fearful. Crazy. Oh my gosh. Oh, I can feel her. She was so scared. Always just had these crazy butterflies in my belly, and let's explore these butterflies. So I am 6 years old and I'm inside and I'm at my gymnasium. Oh, and I'm up next to go on my floor routine. And I feel like I wanted to be hurt so I couldn't compete. I wanted the excuse that I couldn't do it. So I didn't have to compete, so I didn't have to perform. I was so scared, fearful. I'm Ashley and I am, was I competing at 6? No, I was more like 11, 12. Yeah, because they're like, I mean, I did it for a while, so this could be a series of a few years. So I'm Ashley and I'm 12 years old and I feel scared because I don't want to compete, and I don't want to compete because I'm afraid I'll mess up. And I'm 11 years old, 12 years old, and I'm afraid to compete because I don't want to be seen. And I don't want to be seen because I'm afraid of what people will think. And I'm afraid of what people will think because I can feel accepted. I can live up to their perception of me, their fashion trends, their impression of me, because I would believe them. And so if I competed or I did my floor routine and it was bad, then I would be bad in their eyes. And they would see that I failed so miserably in front of everybody. I was afraid of failure, or I was afraid to fail. I was afraid to fail. I was afraid of failure. I was afraid that I was going to fall flat on my face and croak. And I did. Now, I'm 26 and I'm in an improv show. 26? What's that? New York? Yeah, maybe. 26 and I'm in an improv show in New York City. And I go out there. I say my first lines and I totally forgot the light was on. So here, let me paint this picture for you. We're upstairs in a little small box theater, and you walk up the carpeted steps, soundproof steps. You go left down this hall. And I had a show. Oh, this is a little sad. I was going to my improv show, and we were just about to go to curtain. And I expected my friend Lauren to be there and my friend Alex to be there. And I was so excited for this show. And I had this gal Bonnie, this character Bonnie that was the style of improv, was really create the character like you would on SNL. Really work this character. And I remember creating her and how much fun it was. And just about curtain up. And I run to the bathroom. And when I ran to the bathroom, my mom and my sister were there. My mom and my sister came to surprise me. And I was so overwhelmed with emotion. That the emotion, I'm so overwhelmed with emotion because my mom and my sister are there, and I feel excited and I feel nervous, and I'm nervous because I don't want to fail in front of them, and I don't want to fail in front of them because they'll judge me or they'll think less of me. I don't want them to think less of me. And I feel like my mom feels bad about that. Not surprising me or anything, but the show starts. Curtains go up. I'm Bonnie. And I'm ready to, I walk right up there, center stage, bright light on me. And I say, I'm Bonnie. Blank. Nothing. I wrote this whole sketch. I wrote it. I wrote this entire sketch. And I can't remember a single word of it. I wrote this entire sketch, and I'm in an improv class, an improv show, and nothing comes out of my mouth. I've done other plays that I didn't forget my lines on, but that made a bit of an imprint. That hurt a little because my mom was there, my sister was there, Lauren was there, Alex was there. And I was just so happy that everyone came to see me, and really disappointed. Really disappointed in myself that I let everybody down. That hurt a little bit, that I let everybody down. But we had a great time. I don't even know what restaurant we went to, something around the corner. And it was so that is good tea. That smells special blend. Went around the corner and we celebrated, and it was beautiful and fun and so great. Really, really special. But I failed. I let them down. And so in that moment, not wanting to let people down, but letting them down anyway. Not wanting to be a failure, and in being a failure, not a failure, I'm not a failure, but failing at something. I would rather have an excuse to get out of it than to go through and do it. To compete for it, to be the best at something. I was afraid to be the best. Why was I afraid to be the best? That's not part of the hypnosis. That's just me burping up my pad see. Breathing in and out and relaxing into a deep, deep sleep. Breathing in and out. Going back to the scene, the place, the event in time. That is all to do with the reason why You doubt your greatness. It is that vibration. The vibration that people didn't expect much of me in a certain way. People didn't expect much of me, and that makes me feel like a failure. And I feel like a failure because I'm not good at anything, and I'm not good at any one thing, and that feels defeating. And I feel defeated because I have something to offer. And I have something to offer, and that feels like freedom. I have something to show, and that feels like joy. I have something to live for and expand into, and that feels liberating. I feel liberated because I'm transforming. I'm transforming, and that feels like integrating wisdom teachings that I have been inquiring within for some time. And I can think about having the foresight that this would be me here, speaking to you now, because I just had a feeling, and I said something about it. It's been a wild journey. The really seeing the patterning, even as I tell you this, I know there's patterning running. There's habits that, oh yes, Mr. What? Mr. No, it's not that. Nope. I'm like, Mr. Miyagi, Karate Kid, Mr. Wilson, Home Improvement, like all the little old guys and everybody's neighbor. Not old, just matured and wise neighbor. I can hear Corey saying it. Exit. Fletcher, Mr. Fletcher. He was such a cool character. Okay, anyway. So Corey's teacher saying the thing about if you live through other people's perception, you'll never like reach your dream circles. Along those lines. But paraphrasing. And also seeing where completely unconsciously, I have been living in my own small perception of self. And I said that the other day in a post. I said, it took me a while to shed this skin. But thank you. I got 2,000 followers. 2,000. 2,000. And I was like, I know it's not much compared to others, but I know what this means for me. So there is this expansion, this awakening happening, and a deeper understanding. I just feel like the medicine and the teachings and the knowledge that I've been absorbing, reading, listening to is like filing in, filtering, deepening, germinating. It's germinating. Spiritual teachings of enlightenment is seeing your own karma play out in fate. Fate being none other than living unconsciously. Unconscious meaning I was very conscious, right? But what I wasn't conscious of the impact, the ripple, the vibration. It's the vibration. Where's your vibration? If deep down you feel like this is destined to fail, then you're probably right. If you feel like deep down this has got to work, it just has to, this has just got to be the it, then you got to trust that. You got to go with that. If it's bit both, don't do it. Not unless you want spirit to kick you in the booty and give you a good old teaching, which, again, I'm grateful for the teaching, because it has been my spiritual doula, my catalyst, when the yes and the no were combined, when they were even. I even got a biofeedback session and she was like, your love and your frustration are equal. She was like, love is supposed to be like, excuse me, much higher, like 60 over your frustration. I was like, oh, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Would you guess that I was a frustrated person during that time? Maybe. I get a little defensive, but when I get defensive, that's a trigger. I know, and I've identified that as well, as when I'm getting what was that? The word is gone. I got like pictures and images of all the times defensive. So it was like thinking about all the times where I got defensive. And it was usually about questions I didn't want to answer, and I didn't want to answer them because there was a possibility that there would be conflict or a bit of contrast or a little bit of uncomfortability, usually around money. So when somebody owes me money or I owe them money, usually when I owe them money, I get in like usually a heightened state. This is a heightened state of, we were gonna read a book. now we're just having a chat. Witnessing myself in the habits that I'm not creating, like going to bed early. It is 1:45 a.m. and I'm here talking to you. And I do that because the house is a mess and I'm talking to you. I get to see my mess. I'm really seeing how I'm messy. And I'm also enjoying not cleaning the mess, because what I have observed, as I heard a reel today that said you shouldn't be rewarding your children for doing chores, making the bed, picking up after themselves, doing the dishes, like that is what is expected of you. You are expected to do this. So you shouldn't be getting an allowance for it. This is like brushing your teeth. You just need to do these things. I was getting paid, well, making my bed. I was like doing kitty litter and weeds and stuff, but I just thought that was interesting because after living with a friend, it was reflected upon me that I am like a tidier. But I also know I'm messy, but then I like to tidy it, and I just haven't been tidying it. But a part of that feels good because I also tend to use that as a distraction. Like, I have a bunch of stuff to do. Oh, but I gotta do the dishes, and I gotta clean this, and then I gotta clean this, and then, oh, look, I didn't get my work done because I was too busy tidying up, because that was more important than my work. Well, I live alone. It's not a terrible mess. It's not like food laying out anywhere or anything like that. It's just, I could do some dishes and put some things in some homes. But that's the other thing, is like I still also feel like I'm just still getting the vibe in here. And yeah, so offering myself forgiveness for that. And witnessing the allowing that I'm giving myself the permission, and tinkering away little by little and getting the thing done. I'm saying like, what's important today? What needs to be done today? What is getting done today? I canceled a date for tomorrow night that I met on Bumble, but we hadn't really been talking. Like, it was like a, hey, cool, hey, you're cool, hey, you're cool, we should meet, definitely. How about this day, this time, this place? Great. Cool. See you Thursday. And like, really not out like, oh, I'm driving up to San Francisco. Or he did call me, I'll give him that. We probably could have talked and got to know each other then, but I was going to Tai Lopez's party, so I was busy. And so that was sweet of him, but there was no allure. We weren't talking. And then I also was like, oh yeah, he's very sweet, I'm sure. Do you want to hang out with this all the time? And I was like, no. Like, scrolled up to another picture. How about this? I was like, no. How about this? Oh, he looks sweet. But no. And so I told him. I said, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it out tomorrow night. I got a lot of stuff on my plate. I got to figure out some business and personal stuff. And I feel a little overwhelmed right now. And I don't think I'm as ready for dating as I initially thought I was when I signed up last Saturday. And he said, thank you so much for telling me. I've been going full steam at work. Totally understand. When you think you're ready to date, hit me up. I really liked your energy. And so that was very sweet. But just getting, what is a distraction? What's distracting me? Yes, I want to date. I'll date. But I also feel I don't know if I'm super ready. I think I might be off the apps again. And because it's just another little thing that's pulling me away from what I want to focus on. And I do still truly believe that the person that I'm going to meet is love at first touch. I want that. I want that a lot. Stretching out the jaw. So I didn't get to read to you this evening, and it's now, almost 1 a.m. I think I'm gonna bounce, but I do think this is a reality-inspired episode. So we're here, and thank you so much for listening to Reality Inspired with Ashley Inspires. If anything I say to you sounds interesting or makes you think a little deeper or inquire a little deeper or provokes a question within you that you want to ask, I'm here for that. I guess that's why I'm doing this. I want to share. I want people to learn. I want to integrate this firsthand experience into teachings. So I think it's important. It's good work. Good work, BB. Okay. Thank you, Quadrivium. We will get back to you. It was just a different kind of story time tonight. Just a different kind of story.